Warning: God rolls can be open to rational discussion and debate. A weapon's performance and overall strength can depend on many factors, including, but not limited to, player input, platform, and personal playstyle. As always, discuss your preferred perks and rolls in the comments section below, like a sane person. If you don't understand this, you are a butthead. Hey, sorry about the legal warning, my lawyers suggested including it. Anyway, welcome back, crayon eaters, floofy space magicians, and roly-poly jumpers out there. Today we are talking about a hand cannon in PvP that is not named the Spare Rations. We're looking at the Jack Queen King. You might be familiar with this weapon. It's sort of a hipster choice, if I do say so myself, but it does make sense because the weapon is actually pretty hot on paper. I know though, as I've already kinda alluded to, it has rock hard competition in PvP. Rose, Spare Rations, Waking Vigil, Luna's Howl, not forgotten, so why should you even spend more than 10 seconds considering the Jack Queen King other than the fact that it looks cool? Well, let's talk numbers. 100 recoil direction means hopefully easier to manage your shots overall, and an absurd default aim assist value of 91. Handling is at 73, which is very good for a 150 rate of fire hand cannon, and aside from the not forgotten, Jack Queen King is tied for highest default range in the legendary 150 RPM hand cannon department. Not too shabby. Now if you're clicking pause to write an angry comment down below, well hold on Fallout, the Spare Rations has equally amazing or slightly better numbers, why wouldn't I use that instead? True, you got me there, Spare is equally better, but two things here. One, Jack Queen King is an elemental weapon and Spare Rations is kinetic. So if you already have a kinetic weapon you really like and want to pair it with a solid legendary primary, consider Jack. And two, holy crap, is the Jack Queen King stupid easy to farm for. Spare Rations is so mind-numbingly annoying to acquire to the point where some people just don't bother at all. On the other hand, if you're even a little bit aware of what's going on in the community / at the tower right now, you'd know that you will never get an easier opportunity to farm a Jack Queen King than right now. In summary, there's a community event happening where you can donate Fractaline to help construct Saint 14's new tower for next season of D2, which we'll talk about later. But when you donate any Fractaline at all, you get a flat 25% progression on any time frame weapon bounty you might be holding. So TLDR, grab a bunch of weapon bounties, donate Fractaline 4 times, and boom, weapon bounty complete. Not even your idiot kid brother could mess that up. People are rolling in loot right now, and if what I've seen on Bungie's Twitter is correct, even when we hit stage 7 on this tower, you will still be able to donate Fractaline, meaning more weapon farming. Either way, if you're tired of farming Spare Rations and want a near equal legendary hand cannon with great stats and a firm time to kill, look no further than the Jack Queen King. Okay, enough blabbing. Perk picking time. We're here today to cover the PvP God roll, and as tradition dictates, we're over here on the left in column 1, site options. Believe it or not, lately, this is the cause of a lot of arguments online. I know, arguments on the internet? Sounds weird, man, but I'm telling you, it actually happens. Most of it stems from the following statement: hand cannon range got nerfed, therefore it isn't needed. I'm just kind of generalizing, I don't have a direct quote on that. However, I would like to once again remind everyone range is more than just damage drop-off, range is more than just damage drop-off, range is more than just damage drop-off. Please don't make me say it again, my fiance is looking at me strangely. But it's true, even though damage drop-off is the first thing we notice in-game when tinkering with that range stat, it affects more on your gun than only that. You know, we still have direct quotes from Bungie Sandbox members who have directly stated that range is tied to general accuracy, range is tied to bloom, range is tied to aim assist, things that we can't always see right away. Essentially, if your range is very high, then your likelihood of landing shots is going to be better. And yes, you also have better damage drop-off points. It's hard to measure just exactly how much better a tiny amount of range can give you in the accuracy department, but as a min-maxer, I've always felt that every little bit helps. While stability could be helpful to those who feel they need a little bit more in the weapon recoil management department, it's very understandable to skip over it if you already feel good about shooting your hand cannon. Handling, however, is really important and should not be tampered with, if possible. The good news, though, is that the Jack, Queen, King's handling is, again, very high by default, 73. Also, weapon handling armor mods exist which help make up for any drops you might make. Tampering with it a tiny bit isn't the worst thing in the world, but if you want to leave it alone, I feel you. With all that in mind, if your goal is a very snappy hand cannon, then you want fast draw. If you want a better range without harming any other stats, go hit mark. And if you want to go totally ham with range, go for sure shot HCS. -10 stability and handling is manageable, I feel, so if you want to boost your overall accuracy and damage drop-off and everything else tied with range, I say go for sure shot. Moving on to column 2, mag stuff. About as exciting as watching paint dry, but helpful to your gun's performance overall. Everything here is going to affect either your range, stability, mag size, or reload speed. I don't know about you, but reload speed is nice to have, but not majorly important. Having a small mag is bad, but Jack, Queen, King has a default magazine size of 12. I know light.gg and other sources say 13 is actually 12, but still, that's really good, and adding more to it with column 2 is probably a waste of a good perk. So we're really down to just stability and range right now. And if you think about it, if you feel as though you can manage your weapon's recoil the way it is, maybe you don't need any stability, personal preference, right? Meaning we're really only looking at range, which, please don't make me say it again, let's just say it's important, man. More than the damage numbers you might see in front of your face. And with that in mind, we've got 4 decent options here, each more decent than the last. If you're having trouble maintaining your gun's kick, then ricochet rounds is a fine choice, extra range and a little extra stability. Overall though, I'd probably go with high caliber rounds, mainly for the extra flinch factor. Of course, the extra flinch provided by high cal is small, but again, every little bit can help. It's up to you, but high cal rounds or ricochet rounds are my picks for column 2. And now let's finally get to some of the more unique choices available in column 3. 6 options to pick from here. Bad news is that not a gigantic amount of variety, but the good news is you got a 1 in 6 chance to get the perk you want, and those odds could be a whole lot worse. Also bad news, some of these perks are not bad at best. A lot of column 3 is gonna wind up being personal preference, but for me, one I can say no to right away, as I usually do, is Pulse Monitor. I don't like this perk. Auto reloading is cool and helpful, but I like doing it on my own terms, not when someone else is kicking the snot out of me. One more for the Nam good pile is Ambitious Assassin. Overflowing your magazine is in no way a bad thing to have, but it requires getting rapid kills before reloading, which does happen in PvP for sure, but not as frequent as a place like PvE, where you really get mileage out of this perk. I think a much better option would probably be Subsistence. Getting kills partially reloads the magazine from reserves, and it doesn't require getting multiple kills to activate. Any kill will do. Yeah, you don't get a ton of ammo back, just 2 bullets, but whatever, that's a 16.66666% return on your mag size, baby, for something you should be doing anyway, killing fools in Crucible. I don't normally rank this perk high, but because we don't have a lot to work with here in column 3, viable for Jack. Auto-loading holster. This perk really depends on what other weapon you might be running with your hand cannon. Double primary, sniper, shotty, native, grenade launcher, if you're switching a lot, auto-loading can be pretty viable. The way I play, it's not my ideal choice, so I'm gonna pass, but if you have it on yours, give it a try and see how you feel. Threat Detector. Increased reload, stability, and handling when enemies are in close proximity. Yes to this perk. The range on Threat Detector for the Jack Queen King is inside of 15 meters. Now, not all, but many of your engagements will likely happen within this range in PvP, especially if you're a sniper and your primary is how you get apes out of your beautiful face. Extra reload, stability, and especially handling are very nice to have in a close quarters fight. Handling is very nice to have on a hand cannon, and it makes Threat Detector 100% worth taking a look at. Finally, we have Demolitionist. Depends a little bit on how you play the game, but this perk has never hurt to have on a weapon ever. You get a kill, you generate grenade energy, you activate your nade, you reload the gun from reserves. You can't complain about that. Or you could, but you would look weird. I'm gonna say the winner is between Threat Detector and Demolitionist, depending on what kind of player you are. Take your pick, lads. On to column 4. Once again, 6 options here, so not bad odds of getting something you're looking for. As you might notice, there are a lot of extra damage dealing perks in column 4. Actually, almost all of them. 5 out of 6 options here will give you opportunities to deal a little extra damage. Let's pick out the ones right away that might not be desirable. Dragonfly. The best damage you're gonna deal to another person that isn't your intended target is 65, which, not bad, but targets have to be relatively close together. Yeah, you can get extra damage even if you're sort of far away from the target, but at that point, it's definitely not gonna be worth it, and isn't likely to happen multiple times a game anyway, unless the enemy team for some reason really likes holding hands with each other. Let's also pick out high impact reserves from the mix because the extra damage is lame balls. At the most, you're only gonna get 4 extra damage, which at very, very best isn't really gonna do anything for you. We can get numbers much, much better than that, so let's move on down the line to Surrounded. Extra damage in exchange for being surrounded by three enemies at the same time. Okay, are you a mind reader? I hope you are, because as you might be thinking, what I might be thinking, this is a really great perk for PvE when you're very frequently surrounded by trash level enemies who can't do very much to you, and not in PvP, where if you are surrounded by 3 people within a 14-meter radius, you're trying to fend them all off with a hand cannon, there's a 1% chance you get a sick montage clip, and a 99% chance that you're going to get your guts pulled out from your Save Surrounded for PvE or maybe for shotguns, whatever, and let's move right along to Swashbuckler and Rampage. It's important to note that with both perks, as you can see right here, the numbers have the exact same ceiling for PvP. The only differences being how easy it is to ramp up each perk and how long each perk lasts for. Extra damage is neat, but when facing a full health guardian, not all these extra damage levels are gonna help you out. At Rampage level 1, it'll be possible to 2 headshot, 1 body shot a lot of guardians, even running fairly high-ish resilience, which is great. And if you have that roll, that should be your goal after getting a kill. 2 dome, 1 breadbasket. Swashbuckler, though, is very easy to ramp up, and it lasts longer overall. I know, by 1 second, but hey, that matters. At maximum extra damage level, both Rampage and Swashbuckler are gonna let you 2 body shot, 1 headshot any guardian, which is oh so nice. But which is the easier way to get there? Killing 3 dudes and then having to instantly reload your gun before the 3.5 second timer expires, or just meleeing a guy who's weak? Again, I understand that one of those things requires you to be up close, and each of them have drawbacks. If you're lucky enough to have multiple JQKs with multiple rolls, try out both, see which you like better. I think Rampage is the better low-end option for slightly cleaner double kills, and Swash is the high-end option for getting 1 melee kill and then trying to go ham on the other team real quick. Finally, we have Snapshot G. I wonder what he's gonna say here. Perk is trash, shard any, and all weapons with Snapshot? Nah, dude, it's great. I wish every gun had this perk. It's just faster ADS time. It's not wild like extra damage, but it helps you literally all the time, and it's awesome. Don't hate on Snapshot, not that anyone does. Masterwork, well for me, it's gonna be between two things, handling and range. Handling, again, super important to make sure your hand cannon ain't slow and rusty like a shopping cart, but I'm gonna go with range. Don't make me say it again, but you get the idea. So let us review what is our God roll Jack Queen King hand cannon for shooting guardians in the face. Let's do two. First one for the neutral game, Sure Shot with an asterisk next to it in case you are looking for something snappier like fast draw. High caliber rounds or ricochet rounds column 2, threat detector or demolitionist, snapshot, and a range masterwork. Second one for the extra damage people. Same thing, sure shot or fast draw, depending on what you want. I'm going sure shot, high cal rounds or ricochet rounds, threat detector or subsistence, and rampage or swashbuckler. I'd say that subsistence probably pairs better with rampage, and threat detector pairs better with swashbuckler. Remember those combos. Oh, and a range masterwork. Weapon mods. Backup mag if you're going for the extra damage roll, especially if you have rampage, the extra shot could help you. But outside of that, targeting adjuster, always a good choice, and Icarus grip if you love to floof around in the air. Finally, do me a favor, 3-tap that subscribe button for me, would ya? Check out my other videos if you like this one, hit the old like button and let me know what your favorite rolls on Big Jack QK are down below in the comment section. Also, let me know what other weapons you're interested in and I'll consider it. Remember, now is the time to farm this gun. Get out there and do it. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you next time.